How's it going, everybody? It's Heroine here, and welcome to day 48 of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Before you proceed, I highly recommend you check out day 49, in which I discussed new off-screen footage of Versus 13 that someone leaked on July 23rd, 2008. In this video, I'll be discussing some new information and screenshots that Japanese media outlets Famitsu and Dengeki PlayStation released throughout August 2008. A little less than a month after the new Versus 13 footage leaked on July 23rd, 2008, on August 16th, 2008, NeoGAF user Duckroll posted the following thread summarizing new information revealed by the latest magazine issue of Famitsu, information that started trickling in from someone at 2channel, a Japanese forum. According to the user, the magazine featured 4 pages on Versus and about 10 screenshots all in real time. One bit of interesting information that he revealed was that according to the magazine, the world of Versus 13 worships a Shinigami, which is Japanese for God of Death. And the Shinigami was apparently designed by Yoshitaka Amano, who is well known for designing many of the characters and enemies in the Final Fantasy series and for creating all the logos of the main games in the series. The next bullet point then noted that the cars and clothing seen in the trailer so far will probably change in design for the final game, which did indeed turn out to be true. The thread was then updated to include new information. According to the user, something they learned from the magazine was that at the top of the building where the prince and the heroine of Versus meet, there is a painting. The painting is the Shinigami that is worshipped in the world, and the painting of it in the game itself is drawn by Amano. The last bit of information that was revealed is that the name of the prince and the heroine in Versus 13 will be revealed at Tokyo Game Show 2008. So through this Famitsu issue, information of which was relayed by NeoGAF user Duckroll, we learned for the first time of the existence of a god of death of sorts in Final Fantasy Versus 13. We also learned that the beautiful blonde woman we have seen in past screenshots and who was hinted at through articles is some type of heroine, and that the main protagonist is actually a prince. On the topic of these 3 entities, the Famitsu issue also featured screenshots showing all 3 characters, scans of which were later leaked online. Let's go ahead and check them out. In this first screenshot, we see a familiar image of the blonde woman summoning her rapier as a magic symbol hovers behind her. Now, people had already seen this image by this point, so let's move on to this next image where we see the prince walking up the stairs to a high floor of a fancy building, this time dressed in a fancy suit instead of the usual leather. After looking around for a bit, he eventually spots the blonde woman who is also dressed in formal attire looking at a painting. According to that NeoGAF thread I discussed previously, this painting apparently depicts the god of death in Versus 13. Upon closer inspection, it became apparent that the entity was actually a female, so a goddess of death. Eventually, the woman turns around and greets him with a kind smile, a stark contrast from past leak scans showing the prince and the blonde heroine gazing at each other confrontationally. One last thing I would like to note about these screenshots is that this was the first time the game was shown running in real time. Whereas past screenshots and footage were all CG, these screenshots showcased actual in-game graphics. So had the game shipped on the PS3 as originally planned, these are the kinds of graphics we would have gotten. Now keep in mind that this was all the way back in August 2008, so while these graphics may not blow anyone away now, they were incredibly exciting at the time, back when visuals like these were unprecedented for a Final Fantasy game and for games in general. Hell, even looking back at this now, it looks pretty damn good, and the visuals have only improved since the project transitioned to the PlayStation 4. But yeah, we got yet another glimpse at the protagonist, who we learned to be a prince, the blonde woman, who we learned to be a heroine, and our first look at Versus 13's goddess of death. It also didn't take long for people to figure out that the figure in the painting might be the very same ethereal female entity found in the Final Fantasy Versus 13 logo, so the painting also provided our first hint of the being's purpose and identity. With that out of the way, one last batch of information I would like to cover is this interview that former Versus 13 director Tetsuya Nomura did with Japanese outlet Dengeki PlayStation, the contents of which were later translated by Gematsu through an article released at the end of the month on August 31st, 2008. The interview began as the host asked about the scene in which the female lead looks at the painting, wondering if the painting is important, to which Nomura replied, "The painting is something I wanted to include in the game. The scene is actually longer. After this scene, the two characters, Prince and Skirt Girl, will start their conversation, and they will disclose their names." So this was Nomura hinting at some of the contents of the upcoming TGS 2008 trailer. The next question was, will there be voices in the new trailer at TGS? Nomura replied, "We haven't decided on the voice actors, therefore we will subtitle it instead. If possible, we will use this way to screen the trailer at TGS." The topic then shifted back to the Skirt Girl as the interviewer asked if she would be the main female character and if she is the one who fought with the prince previously, referring to a scene from the TGS 2007 trailer shown behind closed doors in which the prince and the blonde girl meet in the middle of the street only to draw their weapons as if ready for battle. Keep in mind that at the time, the general public had only glimpsed this scene through leak scans from Famitsu's January 2008 magazine issue. Nomura responded, "Yes, this is the main female character. If people have seen my work before, they will know that there is few description on the female characters. She is the first female character that will stand out from all previous Final Fantasies." Following up on that, the interviewer asked, "Does that mean she is a rebel from the enemy side? Is she a very capable lady?" Nomura replied, "I can't answer this in detail yet, but she is a very ladylike character. Not the humble type, more of a character that moves according to her beliefs." The topic then shifted to the characters who accompany the prince, who the general public also got a glimpse at through leaked Famitsu scans from their January 2008 magazine issue, wondering if they are friends of the prince. Nomura confirmed, yes, they are the side characters that move along the prince, always together type. Then, when asked if they appear right from the start of the game, Nomura responded that yes, they are the side characters that appear right at the start, which holds true even today. Moving on, the interviewer asked what sparked the cooperation with Heroine. For those who don't know, Heroine is a clothing brand that partnered with Square Enix to design clothes and fashion for the game, some of which are actually being made in real life for people to buy and wear. In response, Nomura said, "I noticed that the Western suit is not easy to design because of all the meticulous details. It is time-consuming. We don't have so much time since we are developing both Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy Versus 13 at the same time. As Versus 13 design is based on reality, I decided to find a fashion design company to do the outfit design." On the same topic, the interviewer asked if there will be many outfits for Final Fantasy Versus 13. Nomura replied, "The design of the outfit is still ongoing. The outfit disclosed in the new screenshots are already available from Heroine." Discussion then shifted to gameplay as Nomura was asked, "Since this game is based on reality, what does it feel to play like?" His response was, "The characters live in a world based on Shinjuku, a district in Tokyo, but the appearance of the world is based on Italy. There will also be a lot of natural scenery in this game. Final Fantasy Versus 13 will have the usual feel of a Final Fantasy game. It feels like I'm creating Final Fantasy VII. The team I'm working with includes many members from Kingdom Hearts, FF7, and FF8 teams." The interviewer then followed up with, "The fighting gameplay will be similar to Kingdom Hearts?" To which Nomura answered, "Even though it is based on Kingdom Hearts, there will still be a different fighting system. And since this is a Final Fantasy game, the side characters are playable too." Unfortunately, that last bit really didn't end up panning out. Finally, the interview concluded with Nomura reaffirming that Versus 13 is a PlayStation 3 exclusive, stating, "As the director of Final Fantasy Versus 13, I've already stated that this game is PlayStation 3 only worldwide." Thus concludes the interview, and with that, I would like to end today's Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Thank you for tuning in. We got a lot of interesting new information and hints throughout the month of August 2008, and more would follow with TGS 2008 looming on the horizon. But that's for another Countdown Retrospective, which I hope you will look forward to. In the meantime, let us know in the comments below any memories these images or information might have sparked from back then. And to be further updated on all things Final Fantasy, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!